Factor by grouping. Student learning objectives. 1. Factor polynomials with 4 terms by grouping. Factor polynomials with 4 terms by grouping. Example, 5y plus 10x plus 3y plus 6x. So to factor, we're going to group the first 2 terms and then the last 2 terms and factor out the greatest common factor. So in the first 2 terms, the greatest common factor is 5. So we pull it out and we are left with y plus 2x. In the second term, the greatest common factor is 3. So we pull it out and we are left with y plus 2x. We're not done yet. We see here we have 2 terms. The first term is 5 times y plus 2x. The second term is 3 times y plus 2x. And these terms have a common factor. The common factor is a binomial. So we factor out the binomial. So we factor out y plus 2x. When we factor it out, we are left with 5 plus 3. Which is equal to y plus 2x times 5 plus 3 is 8. Two x plus 5y plus 10 plus xy. So sometimes, for example, let's try to factor by grouping as is. So if we group the first 2 terms, they don't have a common factor. And the same thing with the second 2 terms. So to factor, sometimes we may need to switch the terms around. So in this case, let's rewrite it as 2x. So change the 5y and the plus and the 10 position. So we put 10 where the 5y is, and then we put 5y where 10 is, plus xy. So writing it as 5y plus 10 is the same as 10 plus 5y. Okay, it's, for example, if you have 3 plus 4, it's the same as 4 plus 3. Okay, so this is 7 and this is equal to 7. Okay, so this is we call this commutative property of addition for real numbers. So this is true for any real numbers that you can change the positions when you're adding. So now let's see if we can factor by grouping. So let's group the first 2 terms and then group the last 2 terms. The greatest common factor here is 2. Factor it out, and we're left with x plus 5. Plus, for the second term, the greatest common factor is y. Factor it out. We're left with 5 plus x. So we have here so here we see x plus 5 is a binomial, and the second one we have 5 plus x. X plus 5 and 5 plus x are the same. Is the same as x plus 5 is the same as 5 plus x. It's just commutative. So we can rewrite this as 2 times x plus 5 plus y times x plus 5. So now the greatest common factor here is a binomial. We factor it out, x plus 5, and then we're left with 2 plus y.